Whatever I'm going to talk about now is going to come from my experience coming from KP. First, I'm going to focus on economic empowerment and empowerment, which will help stabilize the population. I've noticed throughout my journey and my extensive experience with women of KP that giving them, talking about rights and just telling them about the rights that they have always creates a friction, because on the other hand, we are not educating their counterparts. We are not educating the men in the family. So for empowering women, we must at the same time educate men also. And that's how the tug of war will not take place. They will be empowered. They will know what their power is and exactly what their choices can be. This given alone will never work, and it has not worked anywhere, and it will not work because that creates a lot of friction. Whenever a woman is empowered, she's able to make the decisions that already discussed here. Even when they sell eggs in the village, they come to me and they say, now we have a decision-making position in our house because we are able to give 5 rupees, 10 rupees to our children, and our husband sees that. So when we talk about empowering them, all of us who are sitting here, it shows that we have our commitment to the cause. And for this commitment, we will have to make more space for women. And that's what I've been doing also, and that is related to how I slowly graduated and reached the boards of different companies, and where I had to, advocate for creating more spaces for women. So when we talk about creating, we have to take all the other people sitting on the boards, all the other decision makers sitting with us as a team. We have to take them with us. And that's how the first ever diversity, equity, and inclusion policy was rolled out in petroleum sector. It was a new thing, but it was very well received. And due to this, because first we made the base. We just did not start talking about making more space for women or empowering them. We made the base. We rolled out the diversity, equity, and inclusion policy, and on the basis of that policy, the first ever female management trainees cohort was taken in the petroleum sector. It had a lot of backlash. It was not received that well in the beginning, but with the results, the place women have carved for themselves, because they were ready. We didn't have to, we didn't have to open the doors for them. They were ready there, and I think it was great. They are now the great asset to the petroleum industry. Now, making spaces, when you talk about making spaces for women, this is how the space is made, and the space is made in the fields also, where they want to go. This step needs to be taken by people sitting here. These are bold steps, but I assure you, if we go ahead in a team, we make teams, we share our vision with our male counterparts, I think we can very well achieve all the goals that we have for making more spaces for women. And one thing is that we don't need permission. None of us need permission. Abhi, Tahira Abdullah Sahiba was concerned, but I said we don't need permission. If we want to speak and if we want to bring something and share it with our audience, I think we don't need permission unless. So we have to be sure that when the better half of Pakistan rises, the other half of Pakistan also rises. So we must empower them, and that empowerment has to be majorly economic empowerment. And for that, I will go back and say that we have to make more space for them. And that spaces all of us can do if we join hands. One request to the Dawn Media today is that by the end of the conference, we should have a white paper, and all of us should have some commitments from our side that this is a small change, a small small policy change in our respective organizations that we pledge that we are going to make to control. And sorry, I should not be using the word control, and I've been reading so much about the word control that now I'm saying control. Let's not talk about control. You see, we need to stabilize. We have to empower them. They have to make informed decisions. And we have to we talk about stabilizing and also not controlling the fertility also, please. Fertility is such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. Why do we want to control it? We should rationalize it. We should give them enough knowledge, enough information where they can decide exactly how they want to use their fertility, but not control it. Thank you.